All right, I want to start. Let's go. Let's go super hard hitting. Did did
Okay, all right, I'm ready.
did Mike J. Schaefer separate levels of physicality, the narrative of getting pushed around? You listen to the presser. Is it different from DBs to wide receiver? Like when you look at how that game broke out from a physicality standpoint, did you make it more about talent or strength or what? Like where'd you land the plane on the physicality meter?
I don't know that I landed the plane anywhere on the physicality standpoint, unless, like, I mean, for me, a lot of, and I think there are two different conversations. And so let's start with Nebraska defensively, because that's a different conversation for me than Nebraska offensively. I I don't know that I looked at Saturday in the moment and thought, "Oh wow, Nebraska's just getting thrown around out there like rag dolls defensively." I looked at it more, "Hey, a number of guys had opportunities to make plays and didn't do it." And I felt Saturday had more to do, and this is that word that everybody hated for like a 5-year stretch under Bo Pelini. So I apologize if it's gonna be triggering to a level here, but it was about execution, and Nebraska didn't execute what they were supposed to do on the field in a lot of ways. Or when they were in position and they had absolutely done everything correct, they didn't finish the play. I mean, that whole 9-minute drive in the fourth quarter, right? Like that was having the opportunity for Sierra Wright to get the guy out of bounds on 3rd and 5, the opportunity for Deshaun McCullough to at least slow down. I think it was Justice Haynes to slow him down on that screen pass to allow for other defenders to help clean up the play to get you off the field to force the punt. It just early in the game, Andrew Marshall on a 3rd down, they could have gotten a stop before Michigan even gets to the point where they have their trick play that doesn't work or the touchdown that isn't caught or then ultimately the field goal. So Saturday to me,
I
it
like the way
wasn't so much, hey, these guys up front are just getting manhandled and they're going to run all over Nebraska. It was these guys aren't making tackles. They're not making plays. And the flip side of that, Michigan, which the way that they have been talked about by some is you would think that Nebraska was on the receiving end of how Indiana beat Illinois, and that's not the case. But the difference was Michigan made tackles in space. Michigan made plays to get off the field. Michigan did things defensively to help themselves win, and they still only won a 1-score football game in a game in which it felt like they dominated, and yet it also felt like Nebraska let multiple opportunities get away. So defensively, it was about execution. If there was an area where I felt like Nebraska got physically handled, I don't think it's a great sign that when the game starts, your tackles are 3 yards back on every play. And then by the fourth quarter, they're 7 yards back on every pass play. And they are 60 to 70 pounds heavier in some cases than some of the defenders that were just shoving them straight back. So that would be the area where I would be a little bit more, man, I don't know. I came out of this game, and I know I'm jumping around here and I apologize. I came out of this game thinking Nebraska's offense has more to go for where I want them to be, for Nebraska to be the best version of what they have here, than where Nebraska's defense is ultimately needs to go to get to where they can just play complementary football. Like I felt the offense needed to do more, even in a game where they put up 27 points and threw for 308 yards. They needed to finish drives with either touchdowns or points. They needed to do more to help out their team. And so I actually left Saturday and still think this now multiple days later. I think Nebraska's offense needs to have the better bye week. I really do.
Oh, that's interesting.
no,
I
listen.
Go ahead. Handshake me.
Yeah,
What's
Spider-Man, the
what's
whole
what is
like lockstep. Everything from and I said this, Shafe, and listen, I know there's a lot of shoulders I could cry on, and yours isn't one of them, right? Tough love guy, don't be a baby, grow up DB. But I lose my mind when I hear people say, "Oh, Michigan gave them a gift and they dropped this and they dropped that." I'm like, if Marshall makes that tackle, you're not afforded the luxury of trying to belittle Nebraska by saying Michigan get like it happens all the time during the game. And you know what players don't do or coaches? They don't separate the brain fart of dropping a pass versus missing a tackle or a taunting penalty. Like the controllables are the controllables, and they happen throughout the course of a game. And it is such a hot button topic for me because it's just, and I hate to say what Coach Rule said, but it's just too low hanging in a fruit, man. Like, if you want to talk about gift giving and brain farts, like, start with Nebraska first, not Michigan.
Well, I think sometimes people see the game they want to see because they felt like Michigan was going to be the more physical, dominant team, and they ran for
And maybe that's it.
286 yards.
Maybe that's
And they
it.
had 7 sacks, and so those are the things that are going to stand out. And so your brain's going to go there. But this is a wild game because on some levels it felt like Nebraska could have lost by multiple scores. On other levels, it felt like Nebraska could have won by multiple scores. And ultimately, it was a coin flip game, and it was a coin flip game coming in, and it finished to be a coin flip game. And I don't think we have to have an existential crisis about, oh no, is this team as good as we thought they were? Oh, do they have an identity? Oh, can they go do this? They need to just play football, like make tackles, make plays when you have the opportunity and get off the field.
Yep.
Make plays when you're on offense and you have the opportunity to beat a guy, like break a tackle. Like sometimes we simplify it too much. Sometimes we make too much of every situation. This is a problem when all you're trying to do is talk about a team for 24 hours every day before they go play their next game. But a lot of Saturday was, hey, just go make a play. And, I don't think we're ever going to see Nebraska play a perfect football game. And so we need to stop pretending like everything's going to be perfect, nor is every team that they're ever going to play perfect too. Michigan didn't play perfect. Nebraska had an opportunity to win that game. They didn't do it. They didn't make enough plays. That was the summation of the game for me. They didn't make enough plays. And I hope that the offense comes out and plays a little bit better going forward because they need them to not just be the better side of the ball. They need them to be good because I think their path is to outscoring teams largely as they go forward.
You don't strike me as a big Rihanna fan, and I was until she ruined Matt Kemp's career. But she has a song called Take a Bow, and the lyrics are, how about a round of applause, a standing ovation? Like, if I could stand and like clap
Thank
it
you.
up.
I've gotten a lot of comparisons to Rihanna because we're both just unbelievably attractive individuals in the prime of our careers.
It's the beard, man. I'm telling you, you got kindred spirits. It's the beard.
Similar build.
Yeah, very similar build too.
Yeah, well,
I'm just.
You guys have never seen me really dance, so you would know. But
the narrative. Well, I was at your wedding.
Oh no, you would know.
I was at Happer's wedding. Does that count?
I don't think I was dancing. I think we were standing next to the bar the entire time you and I were at Happer's wedding.
All right, so Schaefer, like, you said it better than I ever. You said exactly what I was thinking with, and I just told myself I'm just not gonna try to say much because I don't want to get too worked up, and it's the bye week, but I just felt like, well, now Nebraska's not this, and they can't get to this, and we're just predestined to do this. And I told Ravi, I felt like it's kind of that toxic relationship with the media and the fan base and the players and the coaches where it's like, well, I want to be heard and this is my point. And then it's, well, this is what we're trying to do. And it's like, yeah, well, where's the disconnect? And so you just fall back on whatever your preconceived thoughts were. Like, you don't stay in the moment if you just stay in the moment, like, everything's still ahead of Nebraska. And those guys, the players and the staff, they're not afforded the luxury to just throw their hands up and say, all right, scrap it, start over. Like, you have to incrementally try to build. He's clearly raised the floor. You just have to see where the ceiling is.
Well, and we also have to let the season play out. Like, I think one of the things that's challenging with college football is that you're told that perfection is the goal, which is an insane goal. Like, it's a stupid goal. And college football doesn't exist.
Yeah, that version of college football doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, you guys would hate Coach Osborne because once a day he would say, perfection is out there somewhere. Let's go get it. Every day he said that.
It's different. Would it be better internally versus externally, though?
But so should I say perfection is a standard, is a stupid standard? Is that a better way to put it?
It's your word. It's your world, Rihanna. You say what you want.
Thank you. I'll spare you from the singing. And this isn't to say, and this is what always bothers me too, because then you'll get the people that are like claiming that you're trying to gaslight them into thinking that this is a good football team. And that's not my job. I mean, you can have any opinion you want on this football team. That's yours to have. And you can go in with any perception you have. I just try to explain to people what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm hearing, and all of that. And so, coming into last week, like I thought it was a big game. I thought it was a great opportunity. I thought it set well on the schedule for Nebraska. I didn't think Michigan was a version of itself that came here in 2023. And I thought Nebraska had the opportunity to get a really big win. They didn't do it. But I also last week recall saying like, hey, the season doesn't end if they lose on Saturday. Like there's a reason. And this happens every year when Nebraska loses a game, every single year. We go into the year and it's like, hey, what are your predictions? Like, what do you think their record's going to be? Like, I don't know, man. I think they're going to be like 8-4, 7-5. And you know what has to happen to be 8-4 and 7-5? You lose football games. No one in the Nebraska media stood in front of the fan base and said, yeah, they're going to go 12-0. They're going to be a college football playoff team. You're going to see them in January. They're going to be playing for a national title. Nobody did that. So if you are upset today or Monday or Sunday or Saturday, and you're like, oh, I was told Nebraska was going to be this and was going to be that, you're lying to yourself. Nearly every media member told you that this was a 9-3 to a 7-5 team. Almost every one of them. Some might have said 6-6. There might have been some 10-2 pie in the sky people there. But every one of those involves a loss. So it has to happen somewhere on the schedule. Like, right? Like, that's how the logic in this works.
I'm trying to find the 10-2 people. I can't see the 10-2 people around here. But you're right. Like, I mean, they all involve multiple losses, right? Like even in my 10-2, I sit there and I go, okay, I'm looking at this schedule and I go, okay, there's 3 games that are going to matter to Nebraska fans in terms of measuring stick type games. It's going to be Michigan, USC, and Penn State. I don't think we get credit for Iowa, right? Like Nebraska fans.
I think it's 3.5 because it's like, well, they just need to win that game to prove that they're better than Iowa. Sure. But they're not going to be like, oh, you beat Iowa. What a great season.
Right. Yeah. You're not going to be like, oh, they finally got over the hump. That's the big win, right? It's just like, yeah, we're supposed to beat Iowa. Like that's how Nebraska fans feel, whether it's true or not. So in order for Nebraska to go 10-2, the pie in the sky 10-2, some would say, I don't know who would say that, but in order to go 10-2, you have to lose 2 of those 3 games. Like it is required.
Yes, on the nose.
It is required.
You don't have to, but the prediction is suggesting that they will lose 2 games. Yes.
Yes. Like in my mind, as I'm making I think very realistic prediction, 10-2, like you have to lose 2 games somewhere. And to be totally honest, Michigan, USC, and Penn State are really the only acceptable teams to lose to. If you're a fan, right? You sit here and you go, yeah, if you're a fan, if you're a Nebraska fan.
But the majority picked 8-4. Okay, I'll let you finish. I apologize.
I'm here, yeah. But a lot of the people who pick 8-4 understand that at least one of those losses is going to be a team that Nebraska fans are going to be pissed about. Like, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
As an example, with the last time I did this, I picked Nebraska to beat Michigan and then lose to Michigan State. So if Nebraska goes and beats Michigan State, they are in the exact same spot that I thought they would be going into the Maryland game.
As is everybody,
I would have them winning
almost,
and then losing to Minnesota. Yeah, like it's so.
The only difference
this happened when they lost to Illinois last year. This happens when Nebraska loses their first game almost every year. It's a reminder that when you lose a game, all of the people who said, hey, they're probably going to lose 4 or 5 games, that was one of those games that they, like that's how this works.
Hey, so let me ask you something, Mike J. Are you one of those guys? I mean, you have to be. You're human, right? So you're going to watch games.
Let me check on that.
So there is a robotic trait to you.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I'm like, but he doesn't have any feelings.
Why you got to go straight to the Indian guy, Schaefer?
Wait, 10-2. 10-2, man.
They went to one of our biggest twist makers in cinema history. I thought it was a compliment.
Oh, okay. No, we claim him. It's cool.
I love the 6
because you clearly you're kind of consistent. I listen to you every week, and I know there is no real referendum in you. You're very fluid with kind of how it goes, but there is got to be this part of you though, where you're going to score watch and you're going to think you get an idea of what's to happen. Let me give you 2 games to take a look at. Ohio State and Washington, or Indiana and Iowa. For you, based on what you think about the Big Ten, slot those 2 games, and I'm going to give you the third.
Okay, so pick one over the other. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Just kind of slot them, and then tell me why you think they will help your pecking order.
So for me, like if I'm just a viewer picking this game, I'm picking to watch Ohio State play Washington, because Washington is a team that I felt like is a bit of a sleeper in the Big Ten. I've watched them a little bit this year. I was unimpressed by when they played Colorado State. They really had to kind of grind that thing out. Ohio State, like, they have looked good. They beat Texas. I'm curious, like, what the upper echelon of this conference looks like, and I'm curious where a Washington would be. And frankly, some of this is I don't enjoy watching Iowa on my television screen. So, I mean, if I'm being entirely honest, it's not the type of football that I really want to watch more often than not. I did watch a lot of that Rutgers-Iowa game on Friday. It played out
crazy
in
cover.
a insane fashion to me, where Iowa looked absolutely terrible for much of that game and still won by 10 points. I don't understand how it happened. They didn't even look like classic Iowa. And I don't know what to make of Indiana, because I didn't get to watch any of the Indiana-Illinois game. When I saw it, it was like 7-7. And then the next time I saw the score in that game, it was like 1.5 to 10. So I don't think that bodes well for an Iowa defense that didn't look good in Piscataway. So, we'll see what that ultimately looks like. What's the third? I'm curious what the third game is, because there was a game that I was really excited to watch coming into this weekend that I'm no longer as enthusiastic about.
I think this is the game that I still think can move your needle. USC at Illinois.
Yeah, that was a circle
I
bye
still,
week. Mike
I
Schaefer
still
sitting
think
down
it's going
with
to
his
tell you something.
cheese and his crackers and his snacks, and he's going to watch this game like a true college football fan, because I have been high on USC in the offseason. I felt like the Illinois stuff was a little overblown, and what Indiana did to Illinois last week is what I kind of thought was going to happen in that USC game, and now it doesn't. Now I'm a little bit annoyed by it, because I don't get to do my victory lap thing, and I don't get to
listen. USC may lose.
You think they're going to lose?
I'm going to call this on Friday. Like,
oh
my
no!
final predict. You watch what I tell you. Listen, this game for sure. You better take Illinois if you're going to eat the 6.5. I don't know what to tell you. Don't do it. Don't do it, Mike J.
You think USC may not cover, but you think they're going to lose the
and
football
I
game
actually
outright?
think yes.
Wow.
I'll get. Jeez, man. So let's go back to that whole robot human thing.
I thought it was robot chicken.
I'm fairly high on this USC team. So
no, me too. Me too.
Some of it is I just don't see how they lose that game. I think they have better athletes.
I pinned SC for 9. Let me tell you what happens, though. Emotions. Illinois left for dead. Still got a ton of experience. Really, really good football team. SC ink may still be a little wet on the old fingertips from reading about themselves. Sleepy Town of Champaign at 11. Sleepy Town.
It will not be awake at 11. Maybe for that game.
You know who will be awake?
Kevin Suits?
Illinois.
I would say you've never been to the pain if you think they're asleep at 11.
Listen, Illinois will be awake.
I've been to the pain. I don't want to go back to the pain.
I thought it was Pagney. We going back with pain?
Yeah, they like to call it the pain when they're trying to be tough.
Oh, fudge.
Might as well call it Urbana, because what's the difference? Nobody cares there either.
All right. Well, is there a water tower, and is there the annexation of Puerto Rico?
Oh, the people versus Urbana. The people of Urbana definitely care about the Champaign-Urbana deal.
You're probably Kevin, aren't you? Catching a roll of toilet paper. Schaefer, let me ask you about the biggie. I skipped it because I think all eyes will be on it, even though it's the same time as Bama, Georgia. How much do you think you'll learn from Penn State, Oregon?
I don't know, because Penn State has started this season as unimpressively as possible. Like it's almost like their mission is to be the most
just get there
double-digit win team that's ever existed.
Yeah.
And I remember last year these two teams played in the Big Ten championship game, and the conventional wisdom was this is just going to be a blowout. Oregon's going to roll. And then that turned into like one of the more exciting kind of games of the season. Do you guys remember watching that at all?
Yeah, points aplenty.
Last year?
Yeah.
And it looked like it was Drew Aller's coming out party. And then it kind of made me feel like the path that Penn State had in the playoff was going to be pretty good. And so, but when I have watched Penn State this year, and it wasn't the Villanova game, it was the Florida International I had on, and I don't know if it was like a disinterest or it almost feels like they've spent 3 weeks just sort of hanging out, waiting to play a game that matters. And I don't know how good that is when you're going against a guy in Dan Lanning that has Michael Jordan level of disdain and seek for motivation from his opponents. And sometimes it's very real, like with Dion and Mike Gundy. And sometimes he's just playing it up to extremes, I would imagine, behind the scenes. So I don't know that I'm going to walk out of that game with either team being the winner and thinking that's definitely the best team in the Big Ten. Like, I'm not sure that I'm ready to say that without Ohio State being involved. And maybe if Penn State comes out and they control the game, I will feel better about them. But as someone who thought that they were your national champions, I haven't been super impressed by them through 3 weeks or their 3 games that they played so far.
Mike Schaefer, our guy.
Can
You
I
got one more? Go ahead.
Yeah, I
got nowhere to be.
No, you're just fascinating.
Bye week.
So, have you taken a look at the slate of games like the Times?
No, I haven't. One of the fascinating things about me that I will admit very upfront, I have no idea on a college football Saturday what time anyone is playing because I cover the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and chances are I will be in that stadium watching that team play while other games are going on. And then, depending on what time I can get out of that stadium, I might be able to get home in time to watch a game that's at like 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night. So if you're not playing in the super late time slot, I don't get to watch enough of you to really care what time you're playing. So it's like if I don't have to leave early to go to a game, I'll turn it on at 11 and throw the quad box on and like, oh, wow, this game's at 11 a.m. Oh, this is the big noon. I have no idea. I am almost a college football casual because of the nature of the job that I have.
All right. So assuming that Huddy is just going to be having a good breakfast and Shelby isn't going to be slamming back mimosas, let's just be objective here. So you got games like Notre Dame, Arkansas, Rutgers, Minnesota. I think Cincinnati, Kansas is interesting.
That's a good game.
K-State is actually favored against UCF, USC, Illinois. What else is early? That's about it for the early tilt versus, well, in Indiana, Iowa's at 2:30. So that one's dab smack in the middle. But late, you obviously get Ohio State. Or no, that's 2:30.
The 2:30 window is loaded.
So you get 11. Well, kind of. It's not like 6:30.
Well, you got 2 games at 6:30. At 2:30, you've got Ohio State, Washington, LSU, Ole Miss, Auburn, A&M, Indiana, Iowa, and then at 3:15, you have Tennessee, Mississippi State. That's a loaded window.
Schaefer's rolling his eyes. I wanted to fast forward.
I'm not rolling my eyes.
Okay,
but
so
not in my head. I went like this.
You get 2 games.
That's not.
All right, so let me give you this one. Arizona at Iowa State, Oregon, Penn State, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, South Kakalaki. If you have to go early, middle, late, which one will you say to Shelby, hey, can you do something with Huddy? Like, Daddy's working here. Like
we're gonna go to like the Bennington Founders Day Farmers Market thing in the morning.
You're so all integrated already. It's sick.
And
really
and get him involved with that early, and then I'm gonna get back at like 11 o'clock. We'll get him some lunch. The games will be on. He'll be eating lunch. He'll go down for a nap at like 12, and then I'm gonna find a way to get out of the house. That's the game plan. If Shelby's listening, that's what's happening on Saturday. So.
Oh, shit.